The rumor, if the rumors are to be believed, for 5 more movies.
What? 5? 5?
5.
Oh, no. Y'all are killing me.
I wish I was kidding.
If that's the bad, God, the timeline is so weird. Looking into different ones, I can see like almost a world ending on itself, but here we are. Here we are in this timeline that makes no sense.
Wait a minute. To borrow a Deltarune thing, are we just in the weird route?
Wait, might be
Is that where we are?
route. We might be in the weird route.
I'm gonna kill Spamton next time I see him.
Wait, no. Don't kill Spamton, please. Please. That's the only good thing that came out of one of these timelines. So the Spamton's existence is great.
Rousey picks up a gun. It heals in reverse!
Elsie, no!
Rousey has seen enough.
It's time to be a big shot! Spamton, Neo, songs, fucking bops.
I look forward to the day we might eventually revisit Undertale for the stream, because I could very easily tweak the Rousey voice into a Flowey voice.
Dang, my fucking laugh did not even come through. I love it.
I am voicing Sans and Papyrus, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
I would maybe argue for at least 1 or 2 lines as Sans, but if not, I could definitely play Asgore.
Oh, yeah.
If I ever have enough time, probably could do tutorial.
I feel like you'd have a blast with Undyne.
Yeah, probably would. Especially in the genocide route. Oh boy.
That reminds me.
Now the question is, who would be Alphys?
Taro.
Hud, are you alive? Damn, he dead. I think we killed him.
We overloaded his brain. Happens every time.
Still don't think so?
Yeah.
Did you reboot again?
I didn't have anything to add to the conversation, so it was just on my phone.
Oh yeah, he left an emoji
Babe.
in the chat.
I could just put it like this. Finally. I was so tired of being a flower. Don't you recognize me, Kara? It's me. Your friend. Asriel Dreamer.
Was it your friend or your best friend?
I'm trying to recall the line off memory alone without having the game in front of me, so I'm inevitably going to get something wrong.
Each time I read that line, I heard a little bit of Flowey and just Asriel. Just those two voices clashed each other, and I'm over here like, I hate it here. No! No!
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cave. Vegas Bear here as always with Mikamon, Taro, and Webb.
Hello.
Hola!
So, in today's news, Matt Pat is...
Getting into politics.
Matt Pat's getting into politics. Michael Bay may be coming back to Transformers. And...
We may be in a weird timeline.
yes.
There may be a paradox happening.
There may be some bleak motherfucker speaking in hands.
Or a random ass big shot hiding in a dumpster.
Hey, you please spam it alone.
I'm just saying he might actually be here. I'm not saying he's a problem necessarily.
Also, he does live in a dumpster.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Alright.
After all, what do most people do with spam emails?
Oh my god.
That's right.
We are playing Doom 2 today.
All-seeing eye has seen enough.
Just to get that last bit of Undertale Deltarune stuff out of my system, mind if I share what I wrote last year with my own introduction to Flowey?
Sure. I need to figure out where we were.
Okay. The human looked around, noting the very large hollow chamber he found himself in. Yes, my own self-insert, deal with it. It was largely empty, save for some sparse vegetation on the farther cliffs high above. Light filtered in from a hole so high up that he instantly knew there was no chance he could climb back up. On the far side of the room was a doorway, which led to a tunnel somewhere else underneath the mountain. It also had a source of light farther in, though something about its glow didn't feel like the sunlight above. It was neither welcoming nor foreboding, just there. With no other options, you decide to follow that tunnel. You immediately regret this decision when pain shoots all over your body. I guess you were hurt worse than you thought. His eyes watered, blurring his vision. A whimper escaped his throat as he once again tried to pull himself together. Something popped up before him and spoke. Hey there! Are you alright? That's quite some fall you took. The human rubbed his eyes to clear away the tears and found himself face to face with a larger buttercup. This one possessed a pair of eyes like empty black voids and a smile that looked friendly enough on the surface. You scream as loud as you can and stumble backwards. Ladies and gentlemen, the correct response to Flowey.
I'm gonna be completely real here. Whenever you say howdy as Flowey, my brain reacts with the same energy as when Aaron Hansen does his tone voice.
So, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
Oh, make mine added 2 more words to the list.
Oh?
Yes.
Sweet.
What?
Flower frowned. Now, what's that for? I just want to help. My name's Flowey. Flowey the Flower. Really? That's creative. Yes, the in-game text is basically just the ghost of Kara snarky at everything.
So, we have decided, I have decided to skip the level Chasm.
Yeah.
Because I was getting nowhere fast.
Yeah, like, I saw that frustration. It was the kind of quiet rage that you really do not want to see out of Bear.
It was quiet?
Some of it was.
Enough of it was.
Trust me, I am capable of quiet rage, and you never want to see that.
I never want to see it again.
So, Mekumon and Burr have seen the quiet rage. They've seen the loud rage. Both scared the shit out of Burr. To the point where sometimes I find him still being a little cautious around me.
I mean, Bear, you're an imposing person sometimes.
I am a goddamn teddy bear.
That has a limit on how many times they get poked.
Okay,
I mean, I've met Bear in person, and you are both correct. I have yet to find a lie.
Yeah. The only one who has seen my rage in both sense of the words is Taro.
Any comment, Taro? That's what I thought.
Damn! None of it was towards him. Trust.
Huh?
You're blanking out, aren't you?
Like I said, I've been on my phone because I had nothing to say. Are we still on Delta?
No, we're talking about rage!
Not the game, like the actual emotion.
Oh.
And I've said you saw both my types of rages, both silent and outward.
Yes.
And I said, any comment, Taro? And then when there was silence, I just said, okay.
Self-preservation. Cannot disagree with that. As
You're good.
freaky as this is to say, I tend to more recently try to lean more into the silent rage because my loud outbursts with rage tend to get destructive.
Remind me to tell you all the story about how I almost broke my hand on a brick wall.
That's gonna be a tale for the ages.
I love how everyone went quiet.
No, I was just thinking back to. I was thinking, have I ever punched a hole in a wall? And then I think about it, and I'm like, here, like, yes, I have. Looking at the hole in the wall, said hole in the wall, in my room.
This wasn't really out of rage, more so overstimulation, but I dented a history book in high school once. You know, those giant, thick, hardcover books that they have basically everything in?
Oh, yeah.
I dented one out of shape with my skull.
Fuck!
Again, it wasn't so much out of rage as it was overstimulation, because at the time, I still didn't quite understand what I've got going on upstairs nearly as well as I do now. I will be distressingly real here. At the time, like, I didn't actually understand the nuances and meaning of what I actually had been diagnosed with until after I had graduated. I didn't really understand what my diagnosis really entailed until closer to 2014. I graduated in 2012. At the time, all the way up until the point I finally reached that realization, I just thought being on the autism spectrum meant that I was fundamentally broken as a person and just had to deal with it.
I mean, that's a fair assumption.
Like, just built wrong. And now you kind of understand why I latched onto that Russian Badger joke so much.
Yep.
Be real, I didn't get destructive with my overstimulation until later.
Rewinding to a much younger point in my life, like pre-5th grade, I think I was closer to like 2nd or 3rd at the time. I still, for the life of me, cannot remember what it was that crossed my mind or drove me into the overstimulated rage to do so. But I happened to discover a hole in my pants around my knee. Ripped it wide open, basically tore the leg off from the knee down.
Yeah, see, that's just a fashion.
It more or less came out of nowhere. Freaked out the other students, freaked out the teachers, freaked out my parents. And even at the time, I basically told them, I don't know why I did that. I don't remember what came over me. Here I am, 15 plus years later, and I still don't remember. There have been other moments of self-destructive behavior I did, but I'm choosing not to get into those.
Please don't.
Thankfully, nothing in the realm of drug abuse, thank God.
Web?
Huh?
Sorry, your mic was going off, but there was like some weird noise.
I think I was echoing.
Maybe? My mic is kind of weird. It's weird. This new headset is kind of weird because it picks up more sometimes. Like, it can pick up the game that I play sometimes.
Huh.
What's funny is that if I had been watching Toonami at the point they actually aired that little PSA about anger, that might have actually legitimately helped me. So, the Cartoon Network action programming block, Toonami, way back in the original days, and it is a thing they still sparsely do now, but, they used to have these little PSA bumpers where the host, Tom, or in the original days, Moltar, would address the audience and discuss a topic. Among the many topics they touched on, so much so that I think they actually did a round 2 of it in the rebooted Toonami, or continued, I guess, the Adult Swim version. Anger. I did eventually find the bumper on YouTube years later, but the gist of it is that Tom explains how anger can be a motivational tool, but to understand the difference between anger and rage. Anger can help you focus, and it comes in short bursts. Rage lingers, and it's blinding.
It festers.
he used characters from Dragon Ball as a perfect example of both. Piccolo uses anger to focus. Vegeta is a rageaholic. Keeping in mind that at the time they were broadcasting it, they were still kind of lingering around Namek. Even so, like, decent, like truthful observations are still truthful. Instead of going, here are methods you can use to send the anger and rage away, it was more of a, it's all in how you handle it kind of message. It's one of the few times I've seen anything suggest trying to channel your anger and turn it into something positive instead of just trying to banish it.
Oh shit. Livestream Rickers 01 has followed. Also, hi Armorhide. He says, good, entertain me.
Hi, Army.
Livestream Rickers, thank you for the follow. It is much appreciated. However, new followers have a 10-minute time limit before they can interact with the chat. We put this in place because
Bot salesmen, and salesman bots. We kept getting people who were trying to sell us stuff and weren't listening when we tried to tell them why we couldn't buy.
Yep.
It would frequently end in the person leaving in a violent cough.
What the fuck is going on? Oh, you're taking down your Megazord display?
Yeah, he told me he was moving, so
Right.
he's been showing me heat.
Oh yeah.
I forgot.
I'm sorry to have blabbed that and stream, but people were confused, and confusion is something up with which I will not put if I can help it.
So, Rickers, if you're still here, when 10 minutes is up, you can comment in chat. And while you're waiting, you can also use the sound alerts. Just do not use any of the ones that are marked only or have someone's name. Heavenly, you mind telling me what a Taco Demon is going to do with a $200 stimulus package? Deliver Domino's. Send your cutest delivery boy.
Huh?
And it just shows a picture of a fucking Taco Demon with the fucking with like a Pizza Hut or Domino's hat.
I just had an idea. looking at some of the model kits on my shelf since we brought up cleaning those up. So, you know that that gun barrel dagger you sent me a while back, Bear?
Mm-hmm.
A part of me thought, what if I took one of these and kit bashed it with an extra copy of the Dagger L, since most of the details on the 105 dagger are carried over.
Okay.
Effectively making a 105 dagger revive, since Bandai is still too cowardly to do so. They've given us every version of that freaking grunt suit except the one that was in the movie.
Armorhide said that his Deca base and Super Train took most of the total.
I had to believe it. Those things are huge.
Can I just randomly say something?
Yes.
Ain't nobody stopping you.
So, this morning before work, I may have spread brain rot to my friend. Because I did not
I'm already
sleep at all
scared.
last night. I basically, what ended up happening is, after I was looking at something, I was looking at a gacha game that we both play. There's this one character that is currently out. I love his moveset. I love his personality. I don't know what was going on with my brain this morning, but it went into overdrive. I swear I seemed like an insane person when I was talking about him.
So, me whenever I go on a hunt.
I
Me,
quit.
whenever I talk about a hyperfixation.
So you know the game Love in Deep Space?
No.
It's a dating game that it's so popular that I've seen so many women try to gatekeep men from playing it.
The fuck?
Exactly. And this is what I said to my friend. I said to my friend, "Girlie, I'm telling you, if Finon was in Love in Deep Space, I'm sorry, I'm fucking cooked. I'm going feral." Cause I don't play Love in Deep Space. I'm terrified of that game. But I said, if this one character from this game were to ever go into were to ever show up in Love in Deep Space, I'm gone. You're not seeing me.
Web. Web.
And let me show you the GIF that I sent her. If it's here, yes it is. That's the GIF. That's the GIF. It's in streaming. I was going insane from lack of sleep.
That usually happens to me too, but usually from anxiety.
Oh my god.
I've had nothing to say. I have nothing to add. I am just existing here.
Fair enough.
Buster's just playing with the Dino Charged Zord. Must pack, not play. I know that feeling. Alright, let's take a look at this GIF.
I was going insane.
Hyper Chimp!
Yeah, I don't know what managed to ground me enough to do work, but I'm glad it grounded me. Because if my brain were to keep going, it would have gotten worse. I'm pretty sure my friend would not have been able to help me at that point. Because at that point, I think she was starting to go crazy too. It spread.
Retro.
Retro?
I'm trapped in this room. Oh! I had to shoot that symbol. Weird. Wait. This is not where I was before. I got gosh darn teleported.
So, there's a Transformers set that is like, hey, on the one hand, I want to get this so I can complete this team, and on the other hand, it's like, these guys are huge, where will I find the space? The G2 Dinobots.
Ah, yes.
Because, like, I like the color schemes they have, and it would be nice to have a full Dinobot team for once. But on the other hand, the Studio Series 86 guys, as awesome as they are, they're huge. Which is part of the point. But, like,
I still want
still-
Studio Series patterns.
I did tell you once, but
But hello?
Wait, come on?
hello?
Hello.
Hello?
God damn it, I hate when that happens. Signal get all wonky just because I happen to walk from one room of the house to another.
So you were saying
There's an upgrade / conversion kit for the Studio Series 86 Sludge that can turn him into paddles.
oh right.
I would prefer an actual official release version of this character, but I'll take what I can get. And you can damn well be sure, especially now that I have the resources that I do as far as like websites to look through. If and when I get my full G2 team of Dinobots, I will take my I will purchase that conversion kit, slap that onto my G1 Dinobot Sludge, and I will hand that over to Bear the instant I get the chance, because
Yes.
I know how much he likes paddles.
I love paddles.
I will take a shot of the full team together first, but hey.
So, Paddles is like the Super Friends version of Aquaman in that he's kind of useless, but I love him
But they
regardless.
keep him around anyway. People love him regardless. He also tends to be used as a martyr in most stories that he pops up in, knowing full well that his beast mode is useless for combat, and the fact that he's just not violent enough to fit in with the other Dinobots. He largely finds himself putting himself in situations that could deactivate him. Dude is a bag of perpetual depression.
And yet, he is still lovable, and just looking at him makes me smile.
I mean, it's not just us out here. Humans in universe love this guy. More than one of these stories involve humans attempting to recover Paddles from wherever he's put himself this time. And what's funny is that for the joke about him being near useless, he's got a track record of stopping near apocalypses that would put the other Dinobots to shame.
Also,
Because that's always how it goes. That's always how it goes. Suffering, found by humans, cheered up a little bit. Something that could lead to an apocalyptic situation happens. Paddles puts his life on the line to stop it, and ultimately ends up in stasis or dead because of it. But the crisis is stopped.
So, if Paddles were to combine with the rest of the Dinobot team into Volcanicus, I imagine him being like a jetpack or something, because of the way his alt mode is.
Yeah.
He is Volcanicus'.
Jesus.
You skipped again.
I think he's just dead. Oh!
I like. Armorhide says, I like Scar. He and Sludge should be legends.
Am I still dead?
Legs.
No.
No, you're okay. Swoop should be a wingback.
I was saying that Paddles would be underwater equipment.
Oh.
I tried saying this 3 times. I think he's dead. Nobody can hear me? Shit! I thought it was weird that my headphones are doing that stupid buzzing again.
Yeah, Armorhide says.
The kind of staticky,
Oh, go ahead.
the kind of staticky buzzing that usually involves my signal sabotaging itself.
Armorhide says that Scar and Sludge should be legs, and Swoop should be a wingback.
They snarl and slug as arms. Also,
Pat-
I find it sad that I've gotten so used to calling him Slug because that's not his original name.
Oh, no, he said paddles and sludge.
Ah. Also, can we talk about this for a moment? One country in the world has the name for a molten metal byproduct alternatively being a promiscuous person, and suddenly the entire world has to go, well, now his name is Slug instead. This is why they called him Snarl in Transformers Animated. It's why the word slag stopped being used as the casual insult / swear word in Transformers media after Transformers Animated. And I'm just sitting here going, if it were just America that had this problem, you'd have ignored us and moved on. Case in point, the inability to give Megatron his gun mode. Why is this any different?
I will say, I do admire the tenacity of Transformer fans, because when they want Mega Gun, they will make Mega Gun.
If you really want to piss off a G1er, tell them that Megatron's personality is fundamentally incompatible with a gun mode. And then take cover, because there'll be a lot of violent being. At this point, I'm not even surprised.
Alright. Me and Tyra are probably gonna hop out now.
Okay.
See ya.
Thank you for stopping by.
I still need to get me some rest from staying up all night.
Yeah, we'll see.
Why were you even here in the first place? You needed that rest.
Because I haven't talked to y'all in a hot minute. Don't.
Armorhide says
Yeah.
Megatron doesn't need a gun mode. He has had way cooler modes, like the heart.
Thank
Attack
you.
helicopter is peak!
Tank mode is peak.
Honestly,
Yes, but also, is this a throne? Holy shit! it
You're now
is.
the king of hell. Good job.
like I will say, my favorite Megatron alt mode I've ever seen him with was the attack helicopter in Animated.
Anyways, bye bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.
Nope, can't think of a variation. Like, I'm not kidding, like, they will openly resist the idea that Megatron's personality is fundamentally incompatible with an alt mode that leaves him immobile and forces him to rely on his underlings. Was typically the one underling least trustworthy of them all.
For how big the
Like-
guy I just posted in chat is. Oh my god! What is that?
It looks like someone smashed a bunch of Zoids together to see what happens.
Looks like someone confused Zoids for Power Rangers. Barbarian King from Bicklans? I butchered that for sure. Excuse me. Is there a place that needed a red key? Oh wait, yeah, there was.
Yeah, I just saw you pick it up. You picked up a red key.
Well, no, I was thinking. Wait, is there a place that needs a red key? Because I couldn't remember.
I mean, if there's a red key to pick up on the map, chances are there's a door.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite Megatron alt mode since we've brought it up?
A bike themed Toku-ish anime from Korea. Okay.
I suppose more accurately I should ask favorite Megatron design, since the alt mode tends to come with it. For instance, as much as I just praised the attack helicopter Megatron from Animated, I think my favorite Meg's design in general would have to be the Robots in Disguise 2001 design.
The Hearts of Steel one is pretty cool, like Armorhide said.
Yeah, turning him into an actual cannon is kind of funny. And it feels like it paid intentional reference to Galvatron, now that I think about it. And go figure, the one Transformers universe that actually has Elder Gods play a role in the plot.
Honestly, like I like his Hearts of Steel design. I like the attack helicopters.
Right, plural, because we have two of them now. Thank you, WordSpark. That's one thing you did right.
I also like the Cybertronian jet modes he gets in some continuities, because he does not give a shit about Earth so much that he just does not care about getting like an alt mode.
What's funny is that it's actually in character for Megatron, going all the way back to the 80s cartoon. And I quote, while he was drunk off his ass, "Ah, those were good old days back on Cybertron. didn't have to sneak around in these ugly disguises. Right there. Ugly Earth disguises. Those 3 words tell us everything you need to know about how Megatron views the Earth.
Yep. Prime is pretty up there, says Armorhide.
Yeah, they actually made the movie design work.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can say for a bunch of Prime's designs. A lot of them are just translations of movie designs that actually function. I will say, though, as good as the Transformers Prime designs look, personal preference of mine, I prefer my bots to be a little bit less... I'm not sure if the word realistic is what I want to go with, but I like them a little blockier.
Understandable.
Like, I enjoy being able to actually tell what part of the vehicle turned into what. Which is something that the Prime and Bayverse designs seem to have a legitimate problem with. The idea that you should be able to understand what part of a car turns into where seems to offend them. Especially in the Bayverse.
Also, telling characters apart. Because I still remember the fight in Egypt.
They used Autobot protoforms as Decepticon soldiers.
I couldn't tell who was who.
Like, if they didn't have, like, if they weren't one of our main characters with a distinct alt mode, good luck. Also, some Ultimate Weapon Devastator was. He got taken down by the 2 worst characters, 2 worst Autobots of the entire Bayverse. Characters so despised that Studio Series still, this long after its inception, refuses to even attempt them.
Because they were racist as shit.
They are, and I say this without exaggeration because there is a comparison to be made here. The Jar Jar Binks of Transformers.
Oh my god.
It's just that whereas Jar Jar was not intentionally designed to be such, he was literally just added because George Lucas wanted to make his kids laugh. Like kids, grandkids, something like that. He just wanted to make family laugh. That's why Jar Jar exists. But people take issue with the way the character is designed and portrayed. With Skids and Mudflap, it's extremely difficult to argue that the, caricature was unintentional. It's an extremely uncomfortable topic, and again, I don't exactly blame Hasbro for trying to avoid acknowledging that they exist.
I will say...
Like, the people who are...
I will say, though, the fact that they had a... that they shared an alt mode together was kind of cool.
That's about the only compliment I'm willing to give them. It's rare to see anything other than, like, Micromasters do that. Where it's 2 separate characters inhabiting the same alt mode.
Mm-hmm.
With separate robot modes. Like, we typically only see that kind of stuff in Micromasters.
And on the topic of Jar Jar, there is I did learn something really cool. So the guy that voiced Jar Jar, his life was ruined by Jar Jar. Because everyone hated Jar Jar, so they hated on him.
I feel like if the fan theory that Jar Jar was actually a Sith Lord in disguise manipulating everything, if that had been made actual canon, people would hate him less.
And the thing that I like is that years later, Star Wars, like, fucking Kevin Feige, I think, got in touch with him and asked him if he wanted to come back in a role that would redeem him. He said yes, and the fandom cheered.
Giving him a second chance was definitely one of the more wholesome moves that the brand has taken. I will give them that.
Do you want to know how they redeemed him?
Oh, do tell.
Alright, are you familiar with The Mandalorian? The show.
Vaguely.
You know...
I haven't watched it.
You know Baby Yoda?
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered how he was able to survive Order 66?
Wait a second. Bear, where is this going?
During the attack on the temple, they were trying to get... several knights were trying to get the younglings out. Especially Grogu, since he was so young. They put Grogu like in a little pod and got him to like the outside of the temple, where he was met by a Jedi with a green saber and a blue saber that got Grogu on a ship, like on a shuttle, and got him out of the temple, and I think off of Coruscant. This Jedi, who sacrificed his life for Grogu, was none other than the man formerly known as Jar Jar.
Oh my god.
That's how they redeemed him.
They turned it into the Jedi that saved one of the franchise's new mascot characters.
Yes.
Honestly, bravo!
I know, right?
And speaking of Jar Jar, you want to know what happens to the character himself after Order 66?
If I remember correctly, he becomes he's hated by his people, he's exiled, and becomes a laughing stock.
He ends up making a living as a street clown after her being kicked out of politics.
Oh.
And ultimately, he winds up dying in a stormtrooper attack.
Oh.
Yeah. Hated, banished, and then humiliated, ultimately killed. Such was the life of Jar Jar Binks. And I have a strange, sneaking suspicion that when its time came, he heard the words of... I forget which Jedi had spoken them, but the words, simply being able to speak doesn't make you intelligent.
Oh.
Now, let me make this clear. I'm not exactly fond of Jar Jar Binks myself. I do believe he's annoying. But considering most of my experience with him came from the Clone Wars cartoon instead of the movie, I am significantly less harsh on him. I think killing him goes too far. I actually think that. Killing him goes too far. You don't need to. Now, granted, I do think he deserves consequences for what he did, even if it was unintentional. But killing him? A little too far. I feel like just leaving him performing as a street clown for the rest of his life, a job he enjoys, even if it's not necessarily the most prideful thing ever, like, that would work. Spending the rest of his days entertaining the people he unintentionally screwed over would be a better ending than killing him off.
Okay, so I put the scene in question in the voice chat.
I'm taking a look.
Hey guys, welcome.
I half feel sorry for the guy who got force thrown off the roof. Also, booyah!
I know,
Like,
right?
that was an awesome save. But, yeah. I don't think there's much more I can say that already, like, I'm pretty sure the fandom just instinctively already wants to lynch me because I don't honestly parrot back their opinions, but, like, the Jar Jar thing especially, if they weren't going to lynch me and burn my house down before, they will now.
If anyone hurts this cat, I will come for you.
I guess it's just me being the way I am. I don't like seeing people suffer, even if they have done some really horrible things. You have to do something especially deplorable for me to want to see you suffer.
Stuck, Armorhide says stuck in ad. Did you see the pic I just posted? Yes. And
Of the things in their beast modes? Yeah.
just in case he's still stuck in the ad. Yes.
Must require actual physical bullet.
It seems like it. But yeah, like, I've seen people react to that video. I've seen people crying to that video. Because, like, this man was fucked over so bad.
By a character that, again, was only ever meant to be silly entertainment, not to actually piss people off.
He he suffered so badly, and wait, what level are we in? The Living End. Seeing,
It's nice to see the actor get a second chance.
yes, getting to see him like be a Jedi and
With a green lightsaber, no less. That
yeah,
like, isn't that supposed to be like a high-ranking thing? Like, especially in tune with the Force.
God, I'm trying to remember because it's like yellow sabers. I think were consulars. Oh God, I don't remember.
Let me see here.
Ah, shit! They also form two separate Megazords like Kira Mason. That's cool.
Blue, green, and yellow were associated with Jedi Guardians, Counselors, and Sentinels respectively. In Legends, the old EU... In Disney canon, lightsaber colors are not strictly tied to Jedi roles anymore, but in the old canon they were.
Yeah. Disney can go fuck themselves for that one.
Also, like, what makes me the most angry about that is they will go on and on about how, oh, we weren't given any plans or a roadmap or anything to keep going after episode, like from episode 7 onward and blah blah blah.
Press X
Yes,
to doubt.
Yes, you were. George Lucas has gone on record saying he did leave them exactly that. A roadmap that, while he gave them the bare basics of what he would like to see, he still gave them the freedom to do what they would with it. And they threw it out.
Seriously, like, Disney's like, oh, George Lucas didn't, or rather, like, we didn't have any material for anything past, like, we didn't have any material for new stories. It's like, press X to doubt.
Yeah.
There is an entire universe that you made non-canon.
Like, just for one example, you could make it a little animated series in the style of Clone Wars chronicling Luke's adventures after Return of the Jedi. And I'm certain people would have enjoyed that.
Yes, they would have. They would have enjoyed it a lot more than what they did to Luke in the damn
In the Disney canon. the
yeah,
sequel
in
trilogy.
episode 8.
Like, when the actor who played Luke is going, who the hell is this? This is not Luke Skywalker. This is not the character I played. You've gotta wonder. What's even worse is, if I had a nickel for every time an actor who played a character was upset with his quote-unquote modern for the time interpretation of the character, I'd have 3 nickels. 3.
I'm curious and scared.
The first was Mark Hamill for Luke, and the other 2 are both for Optimus Prime.
Oh,
both Peter Cullen and Gary Chalk were audibly distressed and disliked the Bayverse iteration of Optimus Prime. Both citing the "we will kill them all" line as going too far.
I still think the line that really did it for me is "give me your face."
Oh, they did mention the violence of that one too.
And I will say, like, Rise of the Beast Optimus has problems.
He ain't perfect. He's
He's-
still better than Bayverse,
Yes.
but he still has some Bayverse tendencies.
Like what he did with what he did to Scourge in that movie. But the same.
Oh, that's not even counting the deleted scene.
Oh my god.
So there was a deleted scene of Optimus encountering a Decepticon who was actually doing nothing wrong, in disguise as a bus.
Oh, I remember that.
Upon getting too close, the Decepticon transforms and opens fire, presumably to defend themselves from the obvious Optimus Prime. And Optimus goes out of his way to execute this con. The scene was deleted because, well, you can guess why.
Because it wasn't very Optimus Prime of him.
That sums it up quite effectively, yes. Like, really, if a competently written, recognizable Optimus Prime would take one look at that and attempt to disarm the situation.
Also, continuing with what he did to Scourge, I will say I will give him some leeway, considering that Scourge was summoning the literal devil figure of their entire religion.
Which, imagine, if you will, a universe where the deities of your mythology are tangible figures you could actually find, interact with, and hold conversations with. And this one wants to hurt you.
At that point, he was essentially fighting the Antichrist.
He was saving the Earth from consumption.
So I will give him slack for what he did to Scourge, because Scourge was trying to bring Unicron to Earth.
Plus, earlier in the film, he kind of also pseudo-killed Bumblebee.
That too.
I say pseudo-killed because B returns in the final act anyway.
Because we can't kill off Bumblebee. And then Image Comics said, "Hold my beer."
If there's anything I will at least give the Rise of the Beast Optimus, it's that I do enjoy the fact that he did play into the robot dad aspect a little bit. When he's insisting that they cannot trust humans because they're too varied and unpredictable, Bumblebee hits him with that classic "you can't handle the truth" audio clip. And Optimus tells him, flat out, "I don't want you going to that drive-in anymore." And Bumblebee audibly groans. That probably got the heartiest laugh out of me in the entire movie. You can kind of already picture what I value in Optimus Prime's characterization with the stuff I mentioned I liked.
Yep. You know, I was actually having a conversation with someone about the portrayal of Superman. And
Get ready for a shitstorm there.
so I know the guy, and I know he also like doesn't really give much of a shit about DC or Marvel, but he is under the belief that Superman is just a dude with a god complex because he has, alien powers. I told him, or not alien powers, because he's like as strong as a god, basically. And I told him, the thing is though, he's not a god. He doesn't act like a god. He is a kid from Kansas. And his reply,
Who just happened to discover he has superpowers.
yeah, and his reply was, who then found out he was basically a god. And it's like,
When Bruce Wayne openly tells people Clark Kent, Superman, is arguably the most human person of us all.
I hate Zack Snyder. Well, I hate's a strong word, but I really don't like Zack
You
Snyder.
vehemently disagree with his take.
Yes, because it's become so ingrained in the public zeitgeist.
Like, you want to know what Superman is to me? All I have to say is 4 letters. DCAU. That is Superman to me. The way he's depicted in the cartoons from the 90s and early 2000s.
Okay, so
He's like,
in a
he's
few,
a
in a few more, I don't mean to keep cutting you off, but in a few more words, for me, Superman is what comes to my mind for Superman is him sitting on a cloud in Metropolis watching the sunrise.
For me, it's him sitting, basically perched at the top of a skyscraper next to Supergirl, who is also there, just chatting over coffee. Or heck, just replaced with any other superhero who could fly. Green Lantern, for instance.
Okay,
Just,
we are at the end of the game. We are at the icon of sin.
here goes.
This is the mastermind behind the invasion of Earth. Well, actually, that's not true.
Look at that.
The Spider Mastermind is the one, the mastermind behind the invasion, but the icon of sin is the one that was leading it.
We've already smashed the brains, now let's smash the brawn.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like, DCAU, that Superman had a very human sense of humor, for lack of a better phrase. He had moments where he could get ticked off. He had moments where he found difficulty in trying to trust, still managing to do so anyways in spite of that difficulty. He could joke, he could get angry, he could occasionally just kind of flip out. Hell, he still believed in Santa Claus! He was kind enough to invite the Martian Manhunter, who had nowhere to go on Christmas, to his house to celebrate the holiday. If only because, in his mind, nobody deserves to be alone on such an important day. Even if you don't celebrate the exact same holiday, being alone when everybody else is celebrating is just not something that Clark could really comprehend.
I mean, hell, even in like Dragon Ball Z Abridged, like Tien and Chiaotzu, who are Jewish in the Abridged, they talk about like hanging out and going to watch a movie. Because like even though they don't celebrate Christmas, it's like they're still gonna like hang out together.
Okay, I'm gonna read what Armorhide put out there for his favorite Superman moment.
Sent to Israel in DC though, that is true.
So Armorhide says, my favorite Superman moment is him giving his number to an abused child, telling them to call him daily, or he would come by in person to check on them.
Oh.
Like, this is who Clark Kent is at his core. Just a good boy who was raised in Kansas to a pair of very good people who taught him to be human above all.
I don't
He
even
is-
know if I'm actually watching this thing.
Like, we call him Superman because he's a Superman. He's human in every way that matters. Isn't there like an Easter egg where you could dash in through there?
Yes.
I don't remember.
There is, actually. You have to no-click, though, which I don't think I can do here.
Fair enough. Like, point being, if any other JLA member found the child, the dad would have been comatose. Yeah?
Especially if it was Batman.
Yeah, especially if it was Batman.
And some people would probably joke that he didn't turn the kid into a robber.
Now, those of us who know Bruce's character better know that that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
It would really depend on the circumstance. Since we're going on about aspects of comic book characters that people either don't pay attention to or seem to have forgotten, mind if I throw one out there?
Sure.
This one, people kind of even joked about it in universe. People tend to forget from time to time that Peter Parker is supposed to be like ridiculously smart.
Yeah.
There's legitimately a moment in the 90s cartoon where, like, Kingpin, of all people, just blurts out, Spider-Man is a scientist?
Oh, or remind me, chat. Want to see another mech? Oh, you do? Okay.
Like, more seriously though, in this case, it's a matter of Marvel refusing to let this happen, as opposed to, anybody actually forgetting. Spider-Man doesn't just perpetually exist in high school.
Something people tend to forget. Including the people
Like,
at Marvel.
Let me put it to you this way. He was only in high school in the original comics for approximately 2 years. Like, roughly the first 24-ish issues of the original comic. Ever since then, he's been in college, he's been working, because even the people behind, so back then, Peter was allowed to grow up and mature, change over time. Even with the whole floating timeline bullshit that is just comics in general, things changed. Hell, I think the first time the comics remembered that Peter was supposed to have been in college was, in recent memory, was the Superior Spider-Man. And we've made our thoughts on that story arc pretty clear.
I still love that Otto Octavius got his paper was...
Pissed off for plagiarizing himself.
Yeah! He was pissed off because he plagiarized himself. It's like... plagiarizing Otto Octavius, but that's me!
I mentioned that story arc because Otto actually decided to go back and finish the college term, and thus got Peter Parker his doctorate. So yes, technically speaking, unless the entire story arc got retconned without me knowing, Peter Parker is technically Dr. Peter Parker in the comics.
Why do I imagine, as, just a fucking Peter, Otto just hid the papers and just made sure no one told him. It feels like something
He probably would have had letting Peter resume control of his life not been a spur of the moment decision. Because let's face it, Otto Octavius is that petty of a person. He is absolutely that petty. You were saying, though.
No, I was just saying I could see Otto doing something like that. Just a fucking Peter.
So, I mentioned this prior in a group chat between you and Red, but I'm going to bring it up for the stream. Mary Jane is the current host of Venom.
Yes.
I will henceforth refer to the symbiote as either the symbiote or the suit, because Venom is the name of the fusion of the suit and host, and the symbiote itself has made that abundantly clear more than once. It does not think itself as Venom, it thinks of the Union as Venom. So, we currently don't know, at least I don't believe we know, the circumstances behind this particular bond yet. And I recall when the reveal was first done, when people first found out it was MJ underneath the alien ooze there, people were not happy. In fact, one particular comment I saw a lot was how MJ would never willingly host the symbiote because the thing traumatized her. Which, yes, that is true. Back when, you know, she was actually married to Peter in the comics, when Venom debuted... Okay, so I'm going to bring up a comparison with something a lot more recent than those comics. Remember how in the 90s cartoon and in Spectacular Spider-Man, the first thing Eddie Brock did as Venom was basically go out of his way to repeatedly troll Peter Parker?
Yes.
Showing basically in his peripheral vision at all times. Always being in places where he cannot actually start a fight with Eddie for risk of hurting somebody. This is basically what he did in the original comics. Except he went one step further in the comic. He attacked MJ.
Oh, shit.
Now, if I recall, it wasn't anything overly serious, well, at least in terms of injury, just enough to spook her. But because at the time, Peter was still wearing the cloth version of the black suit, MJ initially mistook Venom for Peter. And then the grin happened. When Peter got there, he found MJ basically a traumatized wreck. That Peter decided to shelf the black suit, go back to the red and blue, for MJ's sake. Which, honestly, that's an adorable reason for why he went back to the original costume. Just to, you know, make things easier on a loved one. He could have invented an entirely new costume and instead went with, you know, the classic. So, it is because of that instance that people are going, MJ would never willingly host Venom. And, yeah. The keyword is willingly. Until we get more details on it, I'm going to assume that this was a partnership of inconvenience.
Also, I specifically remember Venom being bonded to Dylan, Eddie's son.
That was correct. Prior to MJ, that is where the suit was. To the point where he shows up in the current Venom comics hoping to get the suit back.
Understandable.
And, kind of being turned into a mouthpiece for the writer to dunk on Paul repeatedly.
Listen. All fucking listens.
Like, I will agree. He's too perfect. He's an obvious writer insert Mary Sue. I just find it hilarious that for once, a tactic that people would usually boo for being cheesy and unsubtle was being praised and applauded.
I mean,
Remember,
otherwise-
when was the last time you heard of the audience actually applauding a writer's self-insert mouthpiece? For the life of me, I can't think of any.
Literally everything that comes to mind is the opposite of what is like hated, not cheered.
Exactly. Which means you had to have really fucked up with the character for the mouthpiece of the writers to be praised for throwing shade at him.
I love how, like, at first Paul is built up to be this great guy, like perfect in every way, better than Peter, and he has two.
Remember, he's vegan.
And oh god, and has 2 kids with MJ, and then it's
Only for the kids to turn out to basically be demon anchors.
And then it's like someone decided, okay, now let's just do everything we've done to Peter, let's do to Paul.
It's almost like being in a relationship with MJ is, like, cursed.
Are we sure MJ's not like descended from Mephisto?
Hell if I know. I wouldn't.
Hell.
I legit wouldn't blame Marvel for saying that, though. So, yeah. Basically, every single one of Paul's life choices is being ruthlessly mocked by Dylan. The kids he thought he had with MJ turned out to be fake, just anchor points for a demon invasion. And now, he's actually experiencing a little something vaguely along the lines of a character arc, or having a personality, because MJ being bonded to Venom makes him uncomfortable. He is starting to develop a personality.
It's a shitty personality, but it's a personality nonetheless.
In fairness, would you be comfortable if your significant other was bonded to an alien symbiote that has taken them a raccoons to like potentially devour people's brains?
Okay, that is fair. But I'm
Like,
also,
you and I both.
I'm also
like,
a
you and I-
weirdo, and I would find a way to be cool with it.
Like, you and I both know that currently Venom is a hero in the comics and has not really eaten brains since, like, Mac Gargan. I have a complaint about Venom in and of itself with Gargan, but I will save that for another time. But, yeah, it's almost like the writers for the Venom book are trying to actually do something with Paul beyond what the main Spider-Man book does. Turn him into a character, a person. Make it believable that MJ would leave his ass.
Ooh.
remember, I did say that the whole Venom thing is starting to put a strain on their relationship in the group chat.
Yeah, I went ooh because of the other mechs that Armor High posted.
Fair enough. Yeah, nice. Shouldn't you be packing those up, though, Armor?
Oh.
So, yeah. We know what's going on in the Venom sphere now. Don't you shush me.
I have to fire 3 rockets into the brain hole. I have to time it just right because the pillar goes up a little farther than it needs to.
It would be nice if you had a crouch button you could use.
That would be nice.
As far as Spidey himself, I honestly couldn't tell you.
But I just know that he's been in like 3 relationships since this shit whole thing started.
What I do know, as far as Peter Parker's Spider-Man is concerned, is that the new Ultimate Universe has definitely been treating him a lot better.
Yeah! We did it! Wow, that number is going up really high. Wow. Damn!
14,600%!
The horrendous visage of the biggest demon you've ever seen crumbles before you after you pump your rockets into his exposed brain. The monster shrivels up and dies, its thrashing limbs devastating untold miles of hell's surface. You've done it. The invasion is over. Earth is saved. Hell is a wreck. You wonder where the bad folks will go when they die. Now, wiping the sweat from your forehead, you begin the long trek back home. Rebuilding Earth ought to be a lot more fun than ruining it was.
And that was Doom 2, everybody.
Yup. Zombie Man. Wait, do I gotta... Oh, okay. Shotgun guy. Heavy weapons. Heavy weapon. Imp. That's Pinky. Lost Soul. Caco Demon. Hell Knight. Baron of Hell. Arachnotron. Pain Element. Revenant. Incubus. Arcvile. The Spider Mastermind. The Cyber Demon. Our hero. If I hit the next button, is he gonna die too? Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so that is Doom 2. We're done with that, and next Tuesday we will be going into
Wouldn't the next one be Doom 64?
yes.
Also, hello, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah, I've been playing this a little bit. I've been in a bit of Pokemon.
I got the same version.
I got this version because fuck Pikachu.
I mean, yeah, same.
Pikachu has
I
had
just
enough of the
prefer Eevee.
limelight.
I just prefer Eevee in general. It's so damn cuddly.
I am a little upset that you can't evolve your Eevee in this game.
I mean, technically speaking, my guy, this is a remake of Pokemon Yellow.
That's true. That is very true.
Thankfully, though, there are other Eevee you can catch and evolve.
Yep.
Just like in Let's Go Pikachu, they actually allow you to catch other Pikachu and evolve them.
Alright, so that is gonna do it for us today. No stream tomorrow because it's my day off. Maybe I'll finally build that Gym Spartan.
Ooh. Even if you don't decide to stream, if you decide to, like, do a sort of just between us build stream so I can get a look at it too. It's a P-Bandai kit I've wanted but couldn't get.
I got it at DoverCon.
I remember. I mean, the Gym Spartan right here is basically what the Mjolnir Powered Assault Armor was based off of for Halo.
Oh shit.
There's a lot of Gundam inspiration in Halo.
Damn.
Why else do you think ODST helmets look like gym helmets? I would if I could teleport their armor.
Yeah, unfortunately fast travel is not working.
There are enemies nearby.
Explains why I had trouble sleeping last night.
In my case, fast travel is permanently disabled because even when I'm alone, there are enemies nearby. Unfortunately, I cannot get rid of the voices in my head.
Oh.
The intrusive thoughts.
I thought you were going to say your internal system counts yourself as an enemy.
No, that would be the technical explanation for it.
Alright, so like I said...
After all, my intrusive thoughts are technically a part of me. if my intrusive thoughts are considered enemies, and I consider myself an enemy, and oh god, I've gone cross-eyed.
So, no stream tomorrow,
Murder.
as it is my day off. We will be back on Thursday with, hopefully, with Super Robot Wars. One of these days, we're gonna have to do another Super Robot Week. Maybe even like several Super Robot. We may have to do like nothing but Super Robot Wars for a few weeks in a row to try and like finish this game before Y comes out.
Remind me when that is.
August 20 something.
Well, allow me to make this suggestion then. We are still in the second week of July. We haven't even hit the full first 10 days yet. We dedicated the entirety of the rest of July here. That opens up August.
August 28th.
In that case, then why not just do Super Robot Wars for the entirety of August? The 28th is the literal last Thursday of August.
We might just end up doing that. We might end up doing, starting next week, we may do nothing but Super Robot Wars.
Like, even if you don't want to do that for the rest of July, we could certainly do that for August.
I want to do it for July. Like, I want to get this game done. Like, I love this game, don't get me wrong. But I want to get done and packed away so that we can focus on Y.
I so look forward to the day I can scream the erupting burning finger mantra.
Alright, so, you heard it here first, folks. Starting next week, we're doing nothing but Super Robot Wars 30.
For the entire remainder of the month.
And all of next
14th
month.
onward. Well, with the exception of Saturdays.
Yes, Saturdays is still going to be Deltarune.
I think Burb would be quite upset with us if we overtook the Saturdays for more SRW.
Yeah, if anything, he would, like, we're setting up for SRW, and he would, like, as we are busy, he would slowly switch over to Deltarune. He knows how to, like, he's been helping me, like, get things set up, so he knows how to do this shit.
Besides, we've been having fun with Deltarune regardless. I wouldn't want to just get rid of it.
Yep. Alright, so, thank you all for watching. This has been Vegas Bear 92.
With Mekumon, briefly joined by Web and Tarl. And I mentioned their names out of order. Oh well.
If you like the stream and like what we do, please feel free to support us in any way you wish.
Be it monetarily, engagement, YouTube subscription, or just sharing us around. Every little bit helps.
Yes, it does. And as always, stay safe, stay comfy, stay hydrated, be good.
Especially in this weather.
Yeah. Be good to each other. And we will see you all on the next one. Peace.